Good morning. Welcome to Facebook Live with the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office. We're here to answer any questions you may have about our Deputy Sheriff recruit position. The Deputy Sheriff recruit position is for new deputies or for people who want to become deputies to join our team and go through our academy to become post-certified.
I'm Deputy Michael McKnight with the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office. This is my partner.
I'm Dana O'Neill.
So we're just going to chat a little bit. We have some questions that we've already kind of worked up to dive into some stuff. If you guys get on live, I don't know if anyone's on yet, but if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask those. We'll answer them to the best of our ability. If not, you can leave your email in the chat and we can get back to you with anything that we can't answer today. We got anything yet?
Let's see. Do we have anybody joining us yet?
Nothing yet.
That's okay. So we'll just talk about what are some of the qualifications for becoming a deputy sheriff. That's one of our most common questions. You must be 21 years of age by the time you complete the academy. You also must have a high school diploma or GED.
The other big one is we have to be able to meet all post standards. So with us working with our own academy, there are standards through post. You have to be able to legally possess a firearm. And then all that link we can include today inside so you can look at all the qualifications through post. Biggest thing is you just got to be really ready to come out and put in your all for this academy. The academy itself will last about 5.5 months. It is here at the sheriff's office, but it's not like you don't have to stay here. You go home at night, you go home to your families, study, come back in the morning and be ready to go. It is a paramilitary type of academy, so boots are shined. Everything needs to be pressed every morning. Lots of conditioning to get yourself ready for that. It is a very, very physical academy, and they're running quite a bit, getting into shape, making sure everything's ready to go. It does go Monday, Tuesday, you're off Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday right now is what we're running currently, and then depending on how that changes throughout the year. Big things that we do hear a lot is what do we need for the academy? The county itself will purchase your uniforms, your gear, your vests, things like that, your pouches that need to go in it. You'll need to buy a handgun, and we have regulations for that, and we can get that out if we need to. Flashlight, handcuffs, a baton, handcuff keys, stuff like that. With that, your uniform itself, if you blow a pair of uniform pants out, we get that for you. If you need a new vest, every 5 years you get an allowance for that, we get one for you. So that is something nice that we do as an agency. They make sure that if something goes out, we take care of it for you on that. Physically, the biggest thing is get yourself doing lots of burpees, running, sit-ups. They're doing a lot of that right now. The conditioning coaches that we have here at the sheriff's office are SWAT guys, and they're pushing this group to the limit. Anything coming up yet for question-wise? Nothing yet. Well, we can dive into some other things that we usually have come up. Benefit-wise, you want to touch on some benefit stuff?
Absolutely.
Great.
Thank you. Yes, so for benefits, we have medical insurance through Kaiser Permanente, and we have dental insurance and vision insurance as well. Life insurance is provided to you through the agency, and then there's an option to purchase additional life insurance for your family members, including children. At the sheriff's office, we have a 401A defined benefit retirement plan where you put in 9% as a contribution, and the county matches that dollar for dollar, that full 9%. We also participate in Social Security, so you'll add 6.2% into Social Security, and the county also adds 6.2% to that benefit as well. And then we have an optional 457 deferred compensation plan. The deferred compensation plan does ride the stock market, unlike our defined benefit plan. You can put in as little as $10 a month, up to $20,500 a month into that optional savings plan for your retirement. We also receive leave time, 8 hours of sick time, totaling 96 hours per year. That's held in a separate bank. And then we have 10 hours of vacation time that you can accrue each month. The longer you're employed with the sheriff's office, the more you accrue. So after 5 years of service, your vacation time actually jumps up to a higher number, to 12 hours per month. It'll go on up to 15 years of service, you'll receive 16 hours per month of vacation. Again, that's held in its own separate bank. On top of those great benefits, we also receive holiday pay, and through the county receive 112 hours of holiday pay, with holidays that are given plus floating holidays. So in total, that equals 328 hours of leave time per year. So that's a great benefit. I think other benefits, as far as working for the sheriff's office, is you get to serve the community and you get involved. We have many opportunities to be involved in the community. Mike, would you like to talk about what some of those are?
Yeah, we'll touch on those. We do have some stuff coming in now.
Oh, okay, great.
First one is there an age cap? And no, there is no age cap for becoming a deputy sheriff. You can anybody can come in. I said it is very physical, that you just every day to day you do wear a heavy vest, so you just got to be able to do all of those things. With that, we can kind of dive into some of the things that you will be expected to do while testing. We do have a physical agility test, and that is on the website. You actually can go on there. There's a video that shows each of them in detail of all the obstacles that you have to go through. There's a written exam, a suitability test, a polygraph, an oral board, a background investigation. Everything kind of goes pretty quick, and then you get to that background. That takes a little bit. From there, you'll have an interview with the chief, depending on which area you go with. It will most likely be with Chief Jared Rollison over at the jail, and he just wants to get to know a little bit about you. He'll have a small amount of questions. It's very informal, just wants to know you. From there, we go to a conditional offer, and you do a phase 2 psychological, and then a full medical evaluation as well. So again, there's no age cap per se. We have to pass all of that aspects of all of the testing process, and then just look at it from the idea of what can you handle. And everyone's different, so I think that's the biggest thing there. Saw another one up here about thanking us for our service. Thank you. You said you were too old. I just saw a glance of it. There is one thing I wanted to say is we're not just deputies in this agency. There are tons of civilian staff that support all of the deputies in day-to-day jobs. And if you're out there and you're looking for something, we do have a ton of different things. Dispatch, we have ISTs who work in the jail, DOTS, we have community service specialists who are helping the deputies take cold calls, things like that. So even if you're starting and you're 18 and you're like, my goal is to become a deputy, you could start now getting in there, start working up that seniority, start getting an idea of how the agency works, and then you're able to get in there and work your way in from there, getting into the academy and moving forward from there. Was there any other ones that popped up? I'm trying to make sure we're not missing anything here. Nothing yet. So biggest thing, I know we get a lot of those things are what are qualifying things that come through. Some of the big ones, you can't have a felony or any DV conviction. Obviously, we have to have weapons, so if you have any of those, it is something that can be a disqualifying factor. Illegal drug use, any illegal drugs within the past 5 years. Marijuana, it will be evaluated on a case-by-case basis, and we'll kind of look, there's no determining year anymore. Driving record, we'll look at everything from tickets within the past 5 years. That's kind of the biggest one if you have more than 5 moving violations within the last 5 years, or a DUI or DWAI within the last 5 years, or more than 2 within the last 10 years. And then criminal record, obviously they're gonna do a full background investigation. With that, they'll look at frequency, they're gonna look at types of crimes, and things that can be disqualifying, but it'll be looked into on a basis. So I see one, I'm a fugitive recovery agent for 17 years now. Got some good experience just out in the field, so by all means, If you have any other questions, please, you can put your email in the chat and I can answer any of those for you. If you just want to talk about the job itself. With that, there are some other things. There is a contract with this, so because we are going to be putting you through the academy, when you're in the academy, we pay for everything. So when you put yourself through an academy at ACC or other places, you might have to buy all your books and your uniforms. All of that will be supplied from the sheriff's office itself. So with that, we do have a 2-year contract. So you'll come in, you start from day 1, 2 years from then, there is a contract with that just says if you leave before that, then there will be a sum that can be legible for coming if you leave prior to that. You will be assigned to the detentions unit for 1 year from your hire date. So that's not just 1 year from when you graduate, 1 year from hire date. You give you opportunity to go out there and test and try to go out to patrol. Getting a little parched, give me 1 sec.
Yeah, so with that, working in the jail gives you a great foundation for your career. Obviously, you know, we're looking at a career, not a job. So there's a lot of years ahead of you in this field. And so spending that year in the detention facility will definitely help build that foundation for your career. You really learn how to talk to people. You learn about law enforcement and the justice system. You learn about what it looks like to process people who are arrested and brought into the facility and what the care and housing situation is there. And so you really get the opportunity to talk with a lot of different folks while in the jail. So I would really recommend taking that opportunity to learn as much as you can and to really build that foundation for your career. I've been with the agency for 22 years and I started on this exact path, came in as a deputy sheriff recruit, was sponsored through the academy as we would do for you here. And then once the academy was complete and I passed my post certification, I was then assigned to the detention facility where I learned a lot, spent a couple years in the housing units. And then after that, I transferred to our court service section in the detention facility where, again, I learned so much, really creating that good foundation for my career here. In court services, I was able to learn about the court process and what each hearing involved while taking the inmates over and sitting with them in their court hearings. And so that was great because then when I did assess and transfer to patrol, I was able to tell the folks that I arrested what they could expect, what not to expect, and what that looked like, what the next couple days might look like for them. After going out to patrol, there are so many different options and opportunities that you have here. We really have a lot of growth opportunities in the sheriff's office for you to expand your knowledge and really enhance your career opportunities as far as we have school resource officers, we have a K-9 unit, we have a bomb squad, we have a SWAT team, we have negotiators, we have a traffic unit, you can investigate traffic accidents. We also have a civil department that goes out and serves evictions and paperwork, court paperwork. There's a lot of different things you can do here at the agency, but really all of that is based on that foundation you set when you first come into our office.
And I think that's key, is just getting that opportunity to build yourself. If you've never been in a uniform before, the jail kind of gives you an option to really grow. And the ability to know how to communicate with people. I think that's one of the things that helps you really grow inside there. You learn a lot in the academy, but not specifically about putting on the uniform and doing everything through the job itself. And I think the jail will give you kind of a base foundation, so when you go out to patrol, like she said, you really can achieve good things, and it preps you to be ready for the things that are coming out. If you learn how to do reports and how to properly write those, you learn how to do the property intake, you learn how to do the paperwork, evidence, things like that. The little things that can catch you up in the long run, but you're able to learn those in the jail and get that as a good foundation. I went into court services myself. It was a great opportunity for me to kind of learn the different avenues that go with courts. So I think it's definitely an option. There's a ton of things in the jail too. There's ASP, Alternative Sentencing Program, where you're working with the inmates who are on house arrest or work release and things like that. So there's options within the jail as well. She did mention something earlier about stuff that we do for the community, and it's something that I am very passionate about. We do stuff with Special Olympics, community events. We do a lot. Shop with a Cop. We actually did one last weekend, I believe. Had great results, getting ready to go back to school. So we were able to get in there and work with the community on getting some people some school supplies that they need. We also do Cops Fighting Cancer. We go out, bring Christmas presents out to the kids over at Children's Hospital. We team up with all the other agencies in the jurisdiction to get that taken care of as well. There's a ton of opportunities here, and there's people in the chat that are saying I'm too old to do this stuff. But if you want to come out and just get involved with the sheriff's office, if you get online, there are some options out there to become a sorry, something popped up. To become a volunteer with the agency, where you can volunteer with a mounted unit. There's a ton of things that we have available, but if you get on there and send one of our HR specialists that she helps out with all the volunteers, get on there and see if they have anything available to do that as well. There was one that popped up, question itself.
So let's see, Tyler, you had mentioned that you want to talk with us over email. That's great. We will put our email addresses, our contact information up in the chat probably at the end. We'd be more than happy to talk with you offline regarding whatever questions that you may have. If anybody has any questions that you would rather just talk about offline, we're more than happy to help you with those as well. And again, we'll put up our individual contact information at the end of this stream here.
I do want to dive into a couple things because we are going to have some stuff popping up. Do you guys accept people with ADHD disabilities? Absolutely. I myself, I have a learning disability. I have really bad dyslexia. It's one thing when I went out to patrol, I had a really hard time with getting into like the sentence structure of my reports, and reports are a huge deal in this job. When you're out there and you're taking these reports and you have victims who can be affected by these things and when they go to court. So that is one thing that I've had to go through. It's something that I worked really hard on to trying to overcome. That's one thing that I have. I have other things that I have with that, but there's nothing that limits you to coming in here and being part of this agency. The disability doesn't define you. You can work around that and find the way that you work best with that. And we can always find a position here with the sheriff's office for you. Again, it's just something that we find and the agency will help you with if you get on with us. They've done a lot to help me with the things that I've had to overcome with that. So thank you for popping in and saying that.
Yeah, there's reasonable accommodations that we can make with a lot of different situations. So please contact us and ask, and we're glad that you jumped in and asked that question.
Absolutely. So I wanted to say we are going to have, for anybody out there who is post-certified, who's looking at lateraling, we are going to have that posted within the next couple weeks for laterals for patrol and detentions. So if you have detentions time and you're post-certified, you're looking at coming to the agency, we have those will be coming up here shortly. With that, if you are post-certified with your current agency and you're looking at moving to another one, we will do 1-for-1 for years of service, up to 6 years of service, topping you out in our 7-step program. So that is an option if you're looking at that. We wanted to get that out there because it is going to be coming up here in a couple weeks. Saw one more.
No other questions.
Okay.
So we've also just increased our pay for this position. We are now paying $67,000 a year to start out to be sponsored through the academy. You do get paid while you attend our academy, and you are accruing benefits while you attend our academy as well. So we pay for the academy itself, and you get paid while you attend. And again, you get to go home at night. It's like attending college. So you learn as much as you can. Soak it all in while you're in the academy. You'll learn arrest control, defensive tactics, driving, firearms. You'll learn all of those things. You'll learn how to handle yourself in situations using less lethal force as well, OC, tasers, things of that nature. So it is really great training. It is very thorough training. It is a post-certified academy. So at the end, you would be a peace officer certified in the state of Colorado. Question is the academy at Flat Rock? That's a great question. Thank you, Geronimo. So no, our academy is now here at our sheriff's office. We have just started our brand new academy here as an agency, and it has started in July. So right now, if you apply, you would be applying for our January academy, which will be our second academy that we will house here in the sheriff's office. So not at Flat Rock, not down at Highlands Ranch, but we now have our own academy, and we're super proud and excited to have that here in our sheriff's office. So you would report to the sheriff's office at 13101 East Broncos Parkway. For a majority of your classroom work, there will be off-site training that you will receive for firearms and driver's training. Great question, thank you.
One big question that usually gets asked to us is what is the process like, and how long does it take? So from start to finish, we have people we posted this about 3 months ago for the recruit position.
Yes, 3 months ago.
And most of them will probably getting in towards the end of October, November, when we'll be getting those, final hire letters out. So the biggest thing that takes the longest is what you put in. If you get in there, you come test now. When we tell you to go out and do your psychological one and your polygraph, just try to get on those things. That's the thing, working with our the people that we work with for our providers. Thank you. Mm-hmm. It's getting their schedules to meet with your guys'. We know that you're working. If you are, thank you for taking the time to test with us. But it all has to do with kind of getting in there and getting in quick when we can. There is one other thing. It's called a personal history statement. If you can get in on that and get rolling with that, the background kind of can be sped up as long as it's done and completed. We can move forward with those and get our backgrounds to our background investigator.
Along those lines,
yeah.
If you don't mind. So with your personal history statement, if the more correct and current contact information you can provide us, the faster we can move on that process as well. Absolutely. For your background. If you'll be asked for references. If you could reach out to those references ahead of time, give them a heads up, hey, I'm applying here, they may be contacting you. That will give them a heads up that we're going to be contacting them, as well as maybe your reference is really busy at that time. Maybe they have a big project at work themselves, or maybe they're having a baby or something of that nature, and maybe that's not the best time for them to be able to provide a reference for you. So contacting them ahead of time can really speed up the process for you. And then in turn, we won't have to reach out to you as often to get that updated information, because we will require you to provide us that updated information. And if we aren't receiving a response from one of your references, we'll need to get information for another reference. So if you can do some of that prep work ahead of time, that will definitely make your process go a lot faster. And also for your previous employers, please try to provide the most up-to-date information to contact them, for us to contact them, because we will be reaching out to them. And if we have to continually ask you for that information, it could really slow the process down for you. And so the reason why that's important is the great thing here is our academy may only begin in January. However, the quicker you can get yourself through this process, the quicker you could be hired on if you would like to be, or you would just have that time to plan ahead for January if that's what works best for you. So say, you may have started the process earlier if you're already in the process. We're so excited to have you. If you're just joining the process now, these are all tips that can get you through the process faster. And if we can get everything completed and everything is successful, we can actually bring you in, say in October, November, December, whatever works best for you, and pay you that deputy recruit salary while you're waiting for that academy to begin in January. So we're really excited about that, because it gives you a lot of flexibility to your own start date. And so you can do what works best for you. If you don't want to start until after the holidays, great, then start in January when the academy begins. So there's all that flexibility for that academy, that start, and you can be your own advocate in your process just by doing these few simple things and having your personal history statement prepared ahead of time.
I just wanted the individual who asked, I lost it in here, but asked about the ADHD stuff, and when it comes to the polygraph and the psych, they can be very intimidating. I can say that they're going to try to do the best they can to try to make you feel comfortable. Obviously, they're trying to get the best information. And the biggest thing that we can ask you is just be honest. Be honest about the things that are going on. And we will do everything we can to work with you on our end. Obviously, when we send you out to your provider, it takes the control off of us and from us and gives it to them just to make sure that we're not being involved or influencing in any matter with that. So biggest thing, just be honest when you're going to them. If you are nervous, let them know that. Let them know that this is what's going on. I may seem very anxious and nervous. That's just because I've never done this before. This is what's going on with me. Just be comfortable as you can. Obviously, it's not always a comfortable situation when you're sitting down to do those in the first place, but be honest with them. That's the best thing I can ask for you.
Yeah, and I think also keep in mind, right, we're all human. We've all made mistakes. So really the best thing you can do is just own that and be honest about it and move forward in the process, I think.
Absolutely. Make sure there's nothing before we just check in one last time. Okay. So the only other thing that we wanted to say when it comes to the time, I wanted to touch base on that, is watch your emails. We did everything we do for the most part will be through email. I am a talker. I do like to talk with people on the phone, but just best case, just have people email me if you have questions. If you want to talk, I will answer any phone calls that I can. But with the background solutions, it can go to your spam mail. So make sure you're checking all of those. If there's an issue with it, email me and I can send it out again if I need to.
Yeah, that personal history statement is its own separate email that we send a link to you, and so it comes from a different address. So sometimes that can go to spam, and you can wonder. We'll tell you that we're sending it to you, but you can wonder where it went. So please check there. If you don't see it, let us know, and we can find it.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. This was just a little opportunity for us to get out there, talk about our academy, and give a little insight onto what's going on with the agency. If you have any questions, please email us. Our emails will be linked in there. The applications are in there to get on for the recruit. Like I said, if you're looking at lateraling to the agency, those will be coming out within the next couple weeks. Again, thank you guys so much for getting on with us and asking those questions. Really great questions with some good insight on there. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Hope you have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks.